Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Alex and Emma podcast. I'm Emma, and we're so happy you're here with us for day 3 of our English learning journey. In our previous episodes, we learned how to introduce ourselves and how to start a conversation naturally. Today, we're taking the next step. Have you ever wanted to tell someone about your day in English? Maybe a friend asks, "What do you usually do every day?" Or, "What's your daily routine like?" Many English learners know individual words like breakfast or work, but they find it difficult to connect everything into a smooth conversation. Don't worry. Today, Alex and I will show you exactly how native speakers talk about their daily routines in a simple and natural way.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and I think today's topic is one of the most useful topics for every English learner. Talking about your daily routine is something you'll do all the time. Maybe you're meeting a new friend, talking to a classmate, or answering questions in an English exam. People often ask, what time do you wake up? Or what do you usually do after work? If you can answer these questions confidently, you'll be able to have much longer and more interesting conversations. So don't try to memorize every sentence. Instead, listen carefully to how Emma and I talk, repeat the expressions with us, and imagine you're part of the conversation. Ready? Let's begin with the morning.
So, Alex, let's start with the most important part of the day, the morning. Everyone has a different morning routine, and I think it's always interesting to hear how other people begin their day. For me, I usually wake up at around 7 o'clock. I don't jump out of bed immediately because I'm definitely not a morning person. I like to stay in bed for a few minutes, check my phone, read a couple of messages, and see what the weather is like. After that, I get out of bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a quick shower. Once I'm ready, I get dressed and make breakfast. I usually have toast, eggs, and a cup of tea. If I have extra time, I like to sit quietly and enjoy my breakfast before I start working. It helps me feel relaxed and ready for the rest of the day.
Your morning sounds much more peaceful than mine. I usually wake up around 6:30 because I like having a little extra time before work. The first thing I do is turn off my alarm. Sometimes I have to do that more than once. Then I open the curtains, make my bed, and drink a big glass of water. After that, I brush my teeth, take a shower, and get dressed. I always make a cup of coffee because I can't imagine starting my day without it. I don't usually eat a big breakfast. Most days, I just have a banana or a sandwich before leaving the house. Then I grab my backpack, check that I have everything I need, and head out the door. Even though mornings can be busy, I like starting my day early because it gives me more energy.
I noticed something interesting, Alex. You said, "I usually wake up at 6:30 and I always make a cup of coffee." Those words, usually and always, are very common in everyday English. Native speakers use them all the time when talking about their routines. So instead of saying, "I wake up at 6:30, you can say, "I usually wake up at 6:30. It sounds much more natural. You can also say, "I always drink coffee in the morning," or "I sometimes skip breakfast." These small words make your English sound more fluent and conversational.
Exactly. And here's a question for everyone who's listening. What about you? What time do you usually wake up? Do you make breakfast every morning, or do you grab something quickly before leaving the house? Try answering these questions out loud in English. Don't worry about making mistakes. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Remember, practice is the key to improving your English. Now that we've talked about the morning, let's move on to the rest of the day. After I leave the house, I usually drive to work, and it takes me about 20 minutes to get there. I like listening to music or podcasts during the drive because it helps me wake up and get ready for the day. When I arrive at work, the first thing I do is turn on my computer and check my emails. Then I look at my schedule to see what I need to do. Some days are very busy with meetings and phone calls, while other days are much quieter. Around 1 o'clock, I usually take a lunch break. Sometimes I eat with my coworkers, and sometimes I eat by myself while watching a short video. Every day is a little different, but I always try to stay organized and finish my work before I go home.
That sounds like a productive day. My schedule is a little different because I work from home several days a week. I usually start by making a list of everything I want to finish that day. It helps me stay focused and remember my tasks. During the morning, I answer emails, join online meetings, and work on different projects. Around lunchtime, I like taking a short break to stretch my legs or make a fresh cup of tea. After lunch, I continue working until the afternoon. Of course, not every day goes exactly as planned. Sometimes I have unexpected meetings or new tasks that I need to finish quickly. That's just part of working life, and I've learned to be flexible.
Let's teach everyone a few useful expressions that you'll hear all the time in English. You can say, I go to work at 9 o'clock. If you're a student, you can say, I go to school at 8. Another useful sentence is, I have a lunch break at 1. If your day is very busy, you can simply say, I'm busy today, or I have a lot of work to do. These are simple sentences, but native speakers use them every day.
Here's a little speaking challenge for you. Imagine someone asks, what do you usually do during the day? How would you answer? Try speaking for 30 seconds without stopping. You could say where you go, what you study, or what you do for work, when you have lunch, and what your afternoons are usually like. Don't worry if you forget a word. Just keep talking. Speaking confidently is much more important than speaking perfectly. After I finish work, I always feel like I need a little break before doing anything else. I usually get home around 6 o'clock, change into comfortable clothes, and take a few minutes to relax. Sometimes I make myself a cup of tea and sit on the sofa while listening to music. It helps me forget about work and enjoy the rest of the evening. A few days a week, I go for a walk around my neighborhood because it's a great way to get some fresh air and clear my mind. When I get back home, I start preparing dinner. I enjoy cooking simple meals, especially pasta, grilled chicken, or a fresh salad. Cooking has become one of my favorite ways to relax after a busy day.
That sounds really nice. My evenings are usually a little different. After work, I often go to the gym for about an hour because exercising helps me stay healthy and gives me more energy. If I don't go to the gym, I like taking a short walk instead. After that, I head home, take a shower, and have dinner. In the evening, I usually spend some time watching YouTube videos, reading a book, or talking with my family about our day. I try not to work too much at night because I think it's important to have time to relax before going to bed. Everyone has a different routine, and that's completely okay.
Before we go to sleep, most of us have a few small habits that we repeat every night. Some people read a book, some watch their favorite TV show, and others spend a little too much time scrolling on their phones. Personally, I like preparing for the next day before I go to bed. I choose my clothes, make a short to-do list, and set my alarm. It only takes a few minutes, but it makes my mornings much easier and less stressful.
Here are a few useful expressions you can start using today. I get home around 6. I have dinner with my family. I watch TV before bed. I read for 30 minutes. I usually go to bed at 11. Try replacing these activities with your own routine. The goal isn't to memorize my schedule or Emma's schedule, it's to learn how to talk about your life in English. And that's what makes conversations feel natural. Before we finish today's episode, let's learn a few small words that can make your English sound much more natural. These words tell people how often you do something. You'll hear native speakers use them every day. The most common ones are always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. For example, I can say, I always drink coffee in the morning, or I usually go to the gym after work. If I don't do something very often, I can say, I rarely stay up late. These words are simple, but they make your sentences much more interesting.
Let's practice together. Listen first, then repeat after me. I usually wake up at 7. I always have breakfast before work. I sometimes watch TV in the evening. I rarely skip breakfast. I never forget to set my alarm. Great. Remember, don't try to speak too fast. Focus on speaking clearly and naturally. The more you repeat these sentences, the easier they'll become. Here's today's challenge. Write 3 or 4 sentences in the comments about your daily routine. What time do you wake up? What's your favorite part of the day? We'd love to read your answers. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us tomorrow for day 4, where we'll learn how to talk about your hobbies and free time. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Fantastic job. Today, you learned how to talk about your daily routine from morning until bedtime. Try using some of these expressions the next time you speak English.